Hi everyone. Today we have with us Nitya Sharma, who is a founder and CEO of Simpl. I think we met almost 4 years back, four and a half years back, and I think I was old then, and you were young then, and still the same case, right? Nothing much has changed. So I think today the scenario has dramatically changed because of COVID and other things, and business segments are changing. So before we start, Nitya, it will be great to sort of understand from you what's happening in the ecosystem and generally about your company itself. So over to you, and thanks again for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, Amir, for having me. Glad to be the first guest after 3 years and break the hiatus. Very quick, maybe I can introduce the company and myself. My name is Nitya Sharma, co-founder and CEO of Simpl. At Simpl, what we are building is a platform that enables merchants to offer a buy now, pay later solution to their customer. And one way we are different from most other such participants in the market is the go-to-market product is built around convenience and safety as opposed to affordability. So that means the main use case of using Simpl is to buy your online food, online grocery, online movie tickets, clothes, mobility, things that you do very frequently in a month. So therefore, the use case is very much like a charge card, like an American Express charge card, except we are full stack, we are digital first and mobile first. So as a consumer, you see a button, you can do a one-click checkout with Simpl. Whatever you get, whatever you're buying gets added to a bill, and you can do that for a period of 15 days. And at the end of 15 days, a bill is sent to you that you can pay using UPI or debit card. And that's how the product works.
And given that you're on the lending side a bit, payment plus lending is a deadly combination. Incidentally, I also use your platform. And in 91 Springboard, we have a place, I think, Big Basket, you have some tie-up, right?
Yes,
I can see your sort of tag there. So I think you're on the lending side as well. So from your perspective, what's your view on the ecosystem changes because of COVID-19, generally on the ecosystem, and then potentially come back to how you are handling it?
Yeah. First of all, the way we think about ourselves and the business we are building, we are payment first and lending second, although lending is an element of it. Talking about payments, one of the things that we love to say at Simpl and we strongly believe in is that the best payment experience is no experience. So the whole industry, consumer retail industry over the last 50 years has been built on, all the retailers trying to build a great buying experience and then hitting a wall on checkout. And checkout is when that experience of payment happens. And the reality of payments is that really no one wants to do payments, is the reality of payments. Payment is something that you have to do, to consume something that you're consuming. So, the way we think about this is the best payment experience is no experience. So therefore, if you, the machine you're talking about is BB Instant, the whole experience is you open the fridge, you close the fridge, you eat. And everything happens in the background, right? So, no buttons, no nothing. So that's kind of like what we do. Now, to power that experience, we create small micro credit for convenience, right? So because you do not actually make a payment at the point of, pulling that good out of Big Basket instant, BB Instant, there is a credit being created. And therefore, the back end of our business is credit, the whole IP that we're building is how to manage it well, how to underwrite people well, how to manage risk and service that book. But I want to stress one quickly that the use case of this credit is not affordability, because you did not borrow money to buy your snack on BB Instant. It was pure convenience. So that's that said, I think from a business model point of view, I think the post-COVID world will look very different, for us, I guess, and for everybody else. First of all, I think let's just address one important thing. I don't think, this world after the COVID itself, after this humanitarian crisis around the pandemic, the economic crisis that will follow, in my opinion, will be huge and something that we have never seen before. There is clearly going to be a demand side shock. There'll be a supply side shock, and there'll be a massive disruption to supply chain. And what happens as a result of it, the second, third order of consequences, I don't even know, honestly. I used to work in the financial services industry in 2008 in New York, trading mortgage-backed securities, the epicenter of the financial crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Things looked so much in control back then. I was there. I remember everything. This is nothing. At least I've seen. I'm relatively younger. I've spoken to so many people who have seen much more than I have. I don't think anybody has seen it. It just seems like it is in its scale and its global reach. It's probably as close it gets to what probably happened during the World War II or World War One, right? So I think it's going to be huge. Now, coming to the type of business we are in, I think two things will happen. Consumer spending will go down, right? Clearly. And I think some of that will be temporary and some of that will be structural. I think demand for consumer discretionary purely because of the disruption of people's incomes and lower incomes and all these things has to take a hit. Fortunately, our business has less exposure to it. We do not, our business is not about giving people affordability to buy things that they don't have money for, right? Consumer discretionary, as it's called. Our business has more exposure to non-discretionary, like your mobility, your ability to go from point A to point B, your ability to eat food and grocery and so on. That said, I think everybody will be affected by it, including us. And the way we are trying to solve for it is thinking of, avenues where we can increase our business other than just consumer, other than the sectors we are in. So
Sure.
entering more and more sectors. On the credit book side, again, as consumers' incomes will get disrupted, which clearly it will, there'll be a lot of confusion. We are having a lot of sound bites from lenders and RBI, what to do, what not to do, whether to pay the loan or, whether to pay that, 3-month moratorium. I think every lender will get impacted because of that. However, the way we think of ourselves and we want to differentiate ourselves is just be better at risk management, treating the consumer with a lot of empathy, because there will be real customers who will have a problem. And I think it's our job as a product to make sure we help them go through this crisis in a much more humanitarian way. But at the same time, from a business model point of view, our ability to manage this risk will be crucial and critical. One way we are very different from a pure play credit company or a credit product is our credit, as we discussed, is of small amount with very small duration, and therefore the data feedback loop we get is very quick. And therefore, whenever there is a shock or a problem, we are able to see it, I think, faster than other credit companies could. So, we are just keeping our eye on the ball, eye on the data. We have our servicing team ready to service the customers and make sure we are just getting better at underwriting and managing the risk. So that's kind of how we are planning for this. And, as a team, we are also taking this as an opportunity to build this infrastructure around risk management that sometimes gets slightly deprioritized because of growth and so many other business needs. This is the time for, house cleaning. This is a time to build a better product. In other words, build equity, big book value in the company, like infrastructure, a team that works, and a product that actually delights consumers.
Okay. So from a work from home, I think very operational thing, maybe structural change. So how work from home is working for you? How are you optimizing? What benefits have you seen? What has gone wrong?
Yeah. We as a company, honestly, before this was not really built for work from home or work remote type thing.
And that's we are talking from we are all digital guys, right? So we are supposed
we are
to
all digital guys.
digital.
Yeah. That said, I think as a team, we were one of the first, earlier group of companies who took the decision to go work from home. I think we did that probably at the end of February, maybe March, first week. So we had growing pains, typically around just keeping a cadence around the company, making sure everybody's on the same page, which oftentimes is a hard enough thing to do, even in an office in a fast-growing startup. And just like anybody else, we have had our challenges and still do. But working from home is forcing us. It's a forcing function for us to become a lot more organized and a lot more deliberate in communication. So we're kind of like taking this opportunity to do that. I think the first, most of our team, I would say 50-50 of our team is, very much like engineering and product and data focus, and the remaining team is operations, customer service. There was a lot of infrastructure that we have built that was predominant in the office for people to make calls to the customers, etc., and to be able to service them well. We had to move it all remote. It was quite an IT job. We had to make sure people had internet at home, etc. But it took us 2 weeks to execute that, and I think it's back to normal now. We are happily working from home, having our stand-ups. Some teams are finding it to be even more productive than working from office, like engineering teams.
So they're getting rid of the boss all the time, right? So boss was
exactly. No boss is good. No meetings is good. I think we all realize in times like this, almost 90% of meetings are a waste of time. And pretty much all those meetings can be done, at half the time that we actually take. So, I think we are definitely learning that. I'm sure everybody's seen this. But yeah, we are just taking this as an opportunity. Obviously, it's a terrible time for the world, but as a company, we are taking this as an opportunity to just grow up, be better, be more organized, and just double down our focus.
No, I agree. In fact, we had this strange challenge that we are much smaller than you, much smaller than you, right? And still we were never in control. The sales process, we were always worried, are we missing up some sales process? Are we not following enough, or the deliveries are delayed or not? We don't have challenge at all. So we were always thinking we'll use Slack. We never used it properly. It was always WhatsApp. So Slack is totally there. WhatsApp is not there. And between Asana and a few more tools, I think, and Zoom, we are done with it. We used to spend so much of time traveling and meeting the client. Today, most meetings happen in 15 minutes flat. So in a day, you can do 2 or 3 meetings in Mumbai. Today, you can do actually maybe 5 and still continue to be productive in what we do. So I'm not saying we'll go back to normal as such. We will never go back to something like a physical infra, but I think the needs are dramatically lesser.
Absolutely. I think fundamentally things, this is, I don't even know if there is an instance, again, after the World War II, probably, where the whole world got into a cumulative shock together at the same time of the same type, right? So, I think it'll change a lot of things structurally.
No, and good point is maybe they're not fighting each other. They're fighting with someone invisible, right? So
yeah, it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Fighting.
I think we are united for that thing, right? I'm sure some answers will come and sort of businesses will sort of move back to normal, hopefully very soon. Critical point going forward is that a lot of job challenges will come, right? A lot of employees, there are a lot of guys who are down to just coming out of colleges, they will find challenges. A lot of senior guys who are in their jobs will obviously go through a difficult time. So any advice to sort of employees there, what they can do in this journey? Because you are also hiring people or you are also figuring out what to do. So what will the role changes will happen and how should employees get ready for it?
Yeah, look, I think there are, again, like thinking about this thing in the very short term and then long term. Short term, I think there'll be, I think US alone, I mean, like, I think in India, data is not that, transparent or clearly available. But in US, we are going to be up to unemployment at the levels of Great Depression, right? Overnight, right? Literally, this did not even take months to happen. Like, again, like I was telling you about the financial crisis, I was in the middle of it. It took so long for everything to move the way it did. Here, I think in the last 10 days, the world is different. And the second is and therefore, I think probably every industry will see this. The second is long-term structural. I think long-term structural, I think it will create, probably more jobs than less. But in the short term, I think there'll be a lot of problems. And I think the only thing people can do and should do is, know this shall pass. Focus on, if somebody gets unfortunately unemployed because of this, focus on skill building, focus on health, family. We always have aspired to take some time off from work. If that happens, might as well take it as an opportunity to do that. And then, come back out more skilled. And, eventually this will pass and, we'll probably move to a normal, but that will definitely be a new normal.
Absolutely. And maybe last 1 or 2 questions here. So You also have partnered with banks and with NBFCs and others for your products and services, right? So do you see that each of these entities will look for more partnership in the current situation? You would need more partnership. They will need more partnership, or do you see that the partnership era is going to have challenges as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. My view is this will be about partnerships. So now, if you think about the last 10 years, Samir, I think we've been talking about partnerships and fintech and partner banks and everybody is wanting to partners. But reality is we all know this. There was always this mentality because of excess capital around winner take all, right? Everybody wanted to say that they were partnering, but everybody wanted to do everything themselves, right? Everybody wants to be a fintech company, everybody wants to be a lender, everybody wants to be payments, everybody wants to do everything. Everybody wants to talk about partnerships, but everybody's doing everything, right? And I think it just probably happens when there is abundance of capital. There's this dynamics around winner take all markets. I think as the world moves towards a new economic equilibrium, which will be about probably not as abundant capital as it has been, more responsible capital deployment. I think every business, whether it's a bank or a startup or a fintech company or any company, will be required to prove business models and make money and get to some semblance of profitability sooner than later, instead of being unprofitable capital burning machine for a very long period of time. What that just means is that everybody will find their own core competencies in the markets. Lenders will be lenders, payment companies will be payment companies, taxi companies will be taxi companies, food delivery companies, right? They are all massive markets. And I hope that all of us will be focusing on what we do very well and partner with each other so that the market can be created in a bigger way, not by competing with each other, but truly creating a platform for growth. That is, has been a strategy for Simpl always. Like we believe the opportunity for us in payments is to build a neutral open platform in a market where everybody's trying to build this closed loop platform that benefits them. We always think about how do we build a more open platform where data can benefit all participants of the platform somewhat equally, whether it's a consumer, merchant, or a financial service company. And we play the role of a platform there in the middle, in true form, not in just words. So I do think I mean, if you just apply game theory to it, I think that should be the outcome. That just makes more sense. But we'll see.
No, I think thanks. There are a lot of insights, and I think some we still need to see as a team together. But I think in the meantime, let's stay safe and stay at home. Thank you, Nitya. It's a great stuff. Great stuff.
Thanks, Amir. Stay safe. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.